There's still a chance to change your life, but not forever. And that's the part most people don't want to hear. Every single day, people wake up thinking they still have plenty of time, while slowly wasting the years that could have completely transformed their future. More scrolling, more procrastination, more distractions, more comfort, more waiting for motivation that never truly comes. And eventually, they wake up years later wondering why they still feel lost, weak, undisciplined, unhappy, and mentally exhausted. So before this video continues, put your headphones on and listen carefully, because this conversation might be the wake-up call that stops you from wasting the best years of your life completely. Right now, someone your age is rebuilding themselves while you keep delaying your future. Someone your age is mastering discipline while you're trapped in distractions. Someone your age is learning valuable skills, controlling their mind, fixing their habits, building confidence, and slowly becoming powerful, while millions of people continue escaping reality every single day through dopamine, entertainment, and comfort. And honestly, modern life made self-destruction feel normal. That's the dangerous part. Nobody notices their life falling apart while it's happening. It happens quietly, one wasted day at a time, one bad habit at a time, one excuse at a time, one distraction at a time, until suddenly years disappear and people realize they became the exact person they never wanted to become. If this message already feels personal, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay fully focused, because by the end of this video, you may realize that your biggest problem was never lack of potential, it was wasting too much time living unconsciously. Now think about this honestly. How much of your life is actually under your control right now? Most people wake up and instantly surrender their attention to the world. Notifications control them, social media controls them, dopamine controls them, emotions control them, their habits control them, and because of that, they slowly lose control of themselves without realizing it. They stop thinking deeply, stop focusing deeply, stop believing in themselves, stop taking action consistently, and eventually, they become mentally stuck in a cycle of comfort, distraction, anxiety, procrastination, and regret. But here's the truth nobody tells you clearly enough. Your life can change dramatically once you finally decide to take control of your mind instead of letting the world control it for you. That's where everything starts. Not motivation, not luck, not perfect timing, self-control, discipline, awareness. Because powerful people are not people who never struggle. They are people who stopped escaping from themselves. And honestly, most people today are constantly escaping boredom, escaping silence, escaping difficult emotions, escaping responsibility, escaping uncomfortable truths about their own habits and wasted potential. That's why they stay stuck for years. But the moment you stop escaping and start confronting your life honestly, everything begins changing slowly. And yes, there's still time for you to do that, but not if you keep wasting every day pretending you'll magically become disciplined later. And honestly, this is the biggest reason so many people stay trapped in the same life for years. They keep waiting for a future version of themselves to suddenly change everything. They keep saying, I'll start tomorrow, I'll become disciplined later, I'll fix my life when I feel motivated. But tomorrow slowly becomes months, then years. And eventually people realize they spent most of their life waiting instead of building. That's why regret destroys so many people emotionally later in life. Not because they lacked talent, not because they lacked intelligence, but because deep down, they knew they had potential, and kept wasting it anyway. If this message feels uncomfortably real, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay fully focused, because most people will hear these truths, feel emotional for 5 minutes, then go right back to the same habits, slowly destroying their future again. Now here's something powerful you need to understand early. Your life changes the moment you stop needing motivation for everything. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is what changes lives permanently. Some days you will feel inspired. Other days you'll feel exhausted, distracted, emotionally drained, and unmotivated. But disciplined people continue moving forward anyway. And honestly, that mindset alone separates powerful people from average people. Average people wait for feelings. Strong people build systems. They create routines. They control their environment. They protect their attention. They stop making decisions based on temporary emotions. And because of that, Their life slowly transforms while everyone else stays stuck in cycles of inconsistency. Now think about the modern world honestly. Almost everything around you is designed to keep you distracted. Endless entertainment, endless scrolling, endless stimulation, endless noise. Why? Because distracted people never fully realize their potential. A distracted mind becomes weak over time. It loses focus, loses discipline, loses clarity, and eventually loses belief in itself completely. That's why protecting your attention became one of the most important forms of self-respect today. Every hour you spend mindlessly consuming garbage online is time you could have spent rebuilding your future instead. And honestly, this is exactly why so many people feel empty now. They consume constantly but rarely create anything meaningful. They watch other people live powerful lives, while secretly wishing they could become better themselves. But wishing changes nothing. Action changes everything. And no, you do not need to completely transform overnight. That's another mistake people make. Real growth happens quietly, slowly, one disciplined decision at a time, one better habit at a time, one difficult task completed at a time, one distraction resisted at a time. That's how powerful lives are built. Not through perfection but through consistency. And honestly, consistency is rare today because most people became addicted to instant gratification. They want results immediately. But real transformation takes patience. It takes repetition. It takes discipline when nobody is watching. And the people willing to endure that process eventually become almost unrecognizable compared to who they used to be. That's why there is still hope for you. Because no matter how distracted, lost, weak, or undisciplined you feel right now, your future can still change dramatically if you stop wasting the time you still have left. And honestly, this is the truth most people discover too late. Nobody is coming to magically save your future for you. Not motivation, not luck, not some perfect moment where suddenly everything becomes easier. Your future changes only when you finally become tired of wasting your own potential. And deep down, most people already know exactly what's destroying their life. They know the habits, they know the distractions, they know the excuses, they know the things they keep avoiding every single day. But instead of confronting those problems honestly, they escape again. More scrolling, more entertainment, more comfort, more delay. Because temporary pleasure feels easier than difficult growth in the moment. But years later, that comfort becomes regret. And honestly, regret is one of the heaviest emotions a person can carry. Knowing you could have become more but didn't. Knowing you had time but wasted it. Knowing you had potential but kept choosing comfort over growth repeatedly. That realization destroys people internally. If this message feels like something you truly needed to hear, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay fully locked in, because very few people today are willing to confront uncomfortable truths about wasted time, weak habits, and unrealized potential honestly. Now here's the powerful part. Your life can still change starting today. Not next year, not someday, today. But only if you stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline instead. Because disciplined people understand something most people ignore completely. Small daily actions create massive long-term transformation. 1 hour of focus every day changes your future. 1 workout every day changes your body and confidence. 1 less distraction every day changes your attention span. 1 difficult task completed every day rebuilds self-respect slowly. And honestly, self-respect changes everything. The moment you start keeping promises to yourself consistently, your confidence grows naturally. Not fake confidence, real confidence, the kind built through discipline and action. That's why disciplined people often seem calmer, stronger, and more focused than everyone else. They trust themselves because they built proof internally over time. Meanwhile, people trapped in procrastination and distraction slowly lose trust in themselves because deep down they know they keep abandoning their own goals repeatedly. And honestly, this is why so many people feel mentally exhausted today. Not because life is impossible, but because constantly escaping reality drains the mind. Living distracted drains the mind. Wasting your potential drains the mind. Watching yourself avoid the life you know you should be building creates quiet internal frustration that grows stronger every year. But the moment you finally take control of your habits, your attention, and your discipline, life starts feeling different, clearer, calmer, more meaningful, because you stop living passively and start living intentionally. And honestly, intentional living is rare today. Most people are simply reacting to life instead of consciously building one. They wake up and immediately let the world control their thoughts, emotions, and attention. But powerful people protect their mind aggressively. They understand that attention is one of the most valuable things they possess. And whatever controls your attention eventually controls your future. That's why there's still hope for you. Because the moment you become aware of what's been destroying your potential, you can finally start rebuilding yourself intentionally instead of unconsciously wasting your life day after day. And honestly, this is where your life begins separating from the average person's life completely. The moment you stop wasting your time unconsciously and start living with intention. Because the truth is, most people never fully take control of themselves. They spend their entire life reacting emotionally, chasing comfort, escaping discomfort, and waiting for motivation that never lasts. That's why years pass so quickly for them. Nothing changes because they never change internally. But the people who rebuild their habits, discipline, focus, and mindset early often create lives that look completely different years later. And honestly, the difference usually starts with one simple decision: deciding that you are no longer willing to waste your potential. If this message feels like the wake-up call you needed, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay fully focused, because very few people today are willing to hear uncomfortable truths about wasted time, discipline, and self-control honestly. Now here's the solution clearly. Stop trying to change your entire life overnight. That's not how real transformation works. Instead, rebuild yourself slowly and consistently. Start controlling the small things first. Wake up earlier, spend less time scrolling, exercise consistently, read more, think deeply, protect your attention. Stop consuming useless content for hours every day. Learn valuable skills. Spend time alone without constant stimulation. And most importantly, start keeping promises to yourself again. Because every time you break your own word repeatedly, you weaken your self-respect internally. But every time you follow through on something difficult, you rebuild trust in yourself little by little. And honestly, that changes your entire mindset over time. You begin walking differently, thinking differently, handling stress differently. Because disciplined people stop seeing themselves as victims of life. They become builders of their future instead. And yes, the process will feel uncomfortable sometimes. Growth always does. There will be days where you feel tired, distracted, unmotivated, and frustrated. But those moments are exactly where mentally strong people are built. Not when life feels easy, but when they continue moving forward despite discomfort. That's why discipline matters so much. Discipline protects your future from your temporary emotions. And honestly, emotions are unreliable. Some days you'll feel inspired, other days you won't. But if your entire life depends on motivation, you'll stay inconsistent forever. Powerful people understand this early. That's why they build routines instead of relying on feelings. They create systems. They eliminate distractions. They control their environment. They understand that success is usually boring repetition done consistently over time. And while everyone else keeps searching for shortcuts, disciplined people quietly transform their life through daily habits nobody notices in the beginning. Now think about this carefully. 5 years from now, the person you become will mostly be the result of the habits you repeat starting today. Not luck, not talent, habits. Your future self is being created right now through your daily choices. Every distraction you resist matters. Every difficult task you complete matters. Every disciplined decision matters. And honestly, this should give you hope, because even if your life feels messy right now, you still have time to rebuild it. You still have time to become stronger mentally. You still have time to fix your habits. You still have time to take control of your attention, your discipline, and your future. But not if you continue wasting the time you still have left. At the end of the day, life rewards focused people differently. While most people stay trapped in cycles of distraction and comfort, disciplined people slowly build confidence, freedom, mental strength, and purpose. And years later, the gap becomes impossible to ignore. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to magically feel ready. Stop telling yourself you'll change someday, because someday becomes dangerous when repeated for too long. Start now, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect. Just start rebuilding yourself before more years disappear. Because honestly, there's still a chance to completely change your life, but only if you stop wasting it. If you're still listening right now, understand something important. This video was not made for people who want quick motivation for 5 minutes and then go back to wasting their life again. This video was made for the people who are genuinely tired of feeling lost, distracted, weak, unmotivated, and stuck in the same cycle every single day. Because honestly, there's still time to change your life, but only if you finally decide to take yourself seriously. Most people won't. Most people will keep choosing comfort, keep scrolling, keep procrastinating, keep delaying their future until regret becomes permanent. Don't become one of them. Starting today, protect your attention, control your habits, rebuild your discipline, and stop wasting the life you still have time to fix. If you're serious about becoming mentally stronger, more disciplined, more focused, and building a future you can actually be proud of, hit like right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this channel is for people who are ready to stop escaping life and finally start rebuilding themselves. And before you leave, go to the comments and type, "I still have time." Read that again carefully, because one disciplined decision today can completely change the next 5 years of your life. And share this video with someone who feels lost, distracted, or hopeless right now, because sometimes one message at the right moment can save a person from wasting years of their life. Now close this video, take a deep breath, put the distractions away for a while, and start becoming the person you know you're capable of becoming.